What's up? What's up? What's up, YouTube? Welcome back, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. All the beautiful folks who are here. I hope y'all are having a fantastic weekend as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the world of AI has continued to advance crazier, faster, and even better than ever. And what I wanted to talk about today was a couple of different topics that actually have really been piquing my interest. One of them being, of course, ChatGPT vision with the mixture of Dalle-3. Now, this is the image generation side of things, so I did want to share that with everyone as well. And this is actually from the paid plan portion of ChatGPT as well, in order to access the ChatGPT vision. But I really wanted to have some fun with kind of the different ways to make this play out and actually kind of, intermingle them all together, as a matter of fact. So, without further ado, I hope y'all are all having a fantastic day, folks. Give me 1 second while I pull up some information on here. And again, I know we've gone over briefly in regards to the Dalle-3 version. For those of y'all who are looking to get Dalle-3, it is available through the Bing chat as well. So you can actually just go to Bing chat, bing.com on Microsoft Edge and make it happen there. So let me kind of give y'all an example of what exactly I am referring to. Bing chat. All right. And I hope, again, y'all are all having a great day as well. So if I come in here and let me actually get rid of that one there. What? I don't even think I've seen Ask Jeeves in forever. Is Ask Jeeves still a thing? It's called ask.com now. Crazy. Later. Okay, cool. So if you didn't know this, you can actually come into the chat Bing version and actually have it create certain images. So for example, let's just say create a meme of Pepe, and we'll just kind of use that as a brief example for those of y'all who are familiar with Pepe. It's just the little frog with the toad. And again, you're going to see some images being made. It's a popular internet frog character often used to express various emotions such as happiness, sadness, anger, or even smugness. Now, again, this one actually did not, let me see, create a meme. Okay, cool. So this is trying to get me to go in here and actually create the meme itself by going on to the meme generator. So let me actually go back in here and click stop responding. What I want to say is create an image of meme Pepe to frog. All right, let me actually try that again. My apology. I just said create a meme and it tried to go through on this. Now, that is some of the differences that we're actually going to get into that topic of discussion now, because what's interesting about that is this is needing you to say create an image in order for it to generate that particular item on here. So that's going to be working in the background. And while that's actually working in the background, what we'll actually do is actually head back over to ChatGPT, which is actually the version which allows us to make all this happen. So if I go into ChatGPT, and let me open up a new chat real fast just to kind of showcase some of this stuff. So if I open up ChatGPT, one thing I recommend if you are using ChatGPT, this is a free software called AIPRM. It allows the ability for you to actually get a whole bunch of different designs, whether it be DALL-E assistants, whether it be image generator. They have a ton of different public options. If I actually was to get rid of this, SEO optimization, mid-journey prompt, writing articles. So again, AIPRM is the system that you can use. It's an extension that you download on Chrome. And again, once you download it, you can use it on the free version of ChatGPT as well, which is ChatGPT 3.5. I did just recently get the ChatGPT 4, and with it, you get Dalle-3, browse with Bing, and default. Now, if I click on Dalle-3, this allows me to create some images. So I'm going to actually use that same exact prompt that we did a second ago, which is just create a meme of Pepe. We're going to see. Okay, cool. So again, it's saying the whole thing. They did break this down. I will say create an image of. All right, let's see if I do this. Cool. So, oh my gosh. So sometimes you just have to play around with it. They start getting a little bit technical with it. Let me stop this for a second, and I can actually kind of reword some of this as well. Because sometimes when it gets in its little funk of once it says like it can't do something, sometimes you just have to go back in um, and reword some of it as well. Image of Pepe and make it about happiness. All right, cool. So now it's actually going to go through and create the image. So again, whenever you're going through and using ChatGPT, something to keep in mind as well, folks, is to go through and reword some of the stuff. So I said create a meme of Pepe. It said it wasn't able to. Y'all saw what it just said a second ago. I just said create an image of Pepe and make it about happiness. And this is where things start getting really freaking awesome, because not only can it design these images fairly quickly, if you ask me, but you can also alter the images as well inside of ChatGPT Vision. And I'll show y'all what that looks like here in just a second once it actually pulls up and loads as well for the images. Now, if we go back over to the Bing chat, whoops. Okay. Looks like it stopped the image creation there. I wonder why that happened. Let me go back and try once again to see if I can get it to create that image while we're waiting on this. So this is the meme that it generated over here, and you can see these images are absolutely incredible, y'all. This is using Dalle-3 as well, which y'all have heard me rant and rave about Dalle-3 quite a bit, but we're gonna actually kind of combine a couple of these things too. So this one actually says happiness on it. And I do want to kind of go through here. So what I do is I say, hey, can you break down? And all I do is just type this in. Can you break down these 3 images? And what it's going to do is it's going to try to describe what could be the best font and or the best prompt in order to possibly get this kind of stuff. So it's breaking down the 3 images, image 1, 2, and 3. And what I love about this is I can actually now change image 3. So I can say change image 3 from the words happiness to success. And what it'll do, this is crazy, y'all, by the way. I'm going to show y'all a couple of different ways to actually change the words, because AI is just absolutely incredible, y'all. I hope y'all are having a great day as well. I'm enjoying doing these little Sunday streams. What's up, Gloria? How you doing? Checks my pulse. Atlantean. Just got home about the DCA. Great call earlier. Thank you so much, Patreon supporter. We just finished the Patreon call for the weekly call this week, as a matter of fact. And look at this, folks. Now, again, I know it did change some of the style of this, so I want to show you a couple of different examples. Let me just kind of download this one real fast, and then we can come in here, and it broke down the images, and you can see it changed the word happiness to success, so I can actually change this as well. Now, this is where things start getting really freaking interesting, is when you actually go into Canva, they now have something called Magic Studio. This is a full AI design where you can animate, switch, change, put text to image, text to video, all this stuff on here. What I really freaking love and what they're doing right now, though, is actually going through and opening up the actual Magic Studio on here. So let me actually just open up a whole new design real quick. So I'm just going to say custom size. 1920 by 1080. It's going to open up a new page on here, and all I'm going to do is go through and actually upload the 2 images that we had earlier from our creation. We'll just upload those over here on the side. And this is where things start getting crazy. So now obviously we have this to where it doesn't quite fit. So I have a couple of different options. One, I can go back into ChatGPT and actually have it say on the 3 images above, change the aspect ratio to 16 by 9, which is just landscape, basically, is the easy way of saying that. So let's see if it'll go through and actually change those original 3 images above into a landscape photo, because right now they're all in a 1024 by 1024 setup, or a perfect square, if you will. So it's going to go through here. You can also use Canva to do several things. You go into edit photo, and you're now granted with this additional item in here called Magic Studio. This is when things start getting really interesting. Something that I found was I actually realized you can click grab text. What it's going to do on this one is it's going to scan the entire image for any text that it can find. This does take on average about 30 seconds to a minute That was fairly quick because there was only one word to grab apparently in that one. But what I love about it, what's so freaking cool, is you can change the words on here, folks. You can rewrite what you see on here. So if I love this photo and I want it to say success, I can come in here and it'll use the exact same font as it had originally created. So I don't have to go in here, try to guess what type of font that was, try to guess what it was to make it happen. Now, granted, keep this in mind. If I now adjust anything on this page, I do also have to move the text with it because it does separate the two. Now, I can group them back together by clicking shift and just simply clicking group, meaning every single time I upload or change anything on here, it will also connect it. But if I did want to keep them separate from each other, then I can just click ungroup on here. I can delete this. Whoops. I can delete this completely if I want to. I can rewrite a different set of text in here if I want to. I can even change the type of text if I want to, just by simply coming in here and saying this is a type of text that I want to use. And so now it uses this text. Super freaking easy, super simple. And gosh dang, folks, a combination of ChatGPT Vision with Dalle-3 with Canva combined together, and we can get really freaking creative with this as well. Now, I can also click edit photo and I can click magic expand. A lot of the times this doesn't necessarily do the exact same image quality because you imagine we're using Dalle-3 and then going back down to what is essentially Dalle-2 if you end up using the expand image. So it wouldn't really be good to probably expand this as it doesn't have a good job. You can see it had some issues actually creating some of these characters over along the side. Now, if you aren't paying attention to it, you probably wouldn't even notice it in the first place. And I can actually go in here and change the different versions that it had come up with. But again, none of them are really going to quite compare as to what it actually ended up doing. So if I get rid of that, again, keep that in mind. So let's go back in here to ChatGPT, see if it went through. Oops, it changed two of the aspect ratios to 16:9 and had an issue with the third. So again, this is actually a brief example of what we were looking at previous. This is where we were at the 1024x1024. It's a nice photo, beautiful work. Don't get me wrong, did great, lots of color. And what they did is they actually did that exact same photo down here with all the additional expansion filled in instead of having to try and guess what was going on. Same thing for the celebratory Pepe that you see here as well. And you can see this is what it was before. So it didn't necessarily have him on the other arm. It had the other side 1024x1024. And again, I can come on down here and see it basically kept the exact same setup, had everything opened up to a 16:9 ratio, all done through Canva. Now I had an issue loading the last one. So can you redo the last image and see what happens there and see if it'll actually go through and create it? But that's freaking absolutely wild, y'all. Like, how absolutely crazy is that? What's up, Access Alive? How you doing? Good day, everyone, man. Congrats to you as well, my boy. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Gloria, much love to you. Much love to all of y'all. I hope y'all are all having a wonderful afternoon, wonderful evening, and a wonderful weekend. Because guys, this is what we like doing here. We like to try and compare what's happening in the overall system and the AI world. Another one that just recently came out while we're waiting on ChatGPT to actually come up with, and y'all saw a brief little clip on my intro video as well. Okay, cool. So there we go. We actually have it now saying success. And again, it has all of it. So if I was to import this image, all of these words that have text, you can edit. So again, as an example, we might as well just kind of showcase some of this stuff since we're actually doing a full AI stream at this point. So if I come in here and just open up a duplicate page, again, get rid of this and that, and then upload that particular photo that we just downloaded a moment ago, we can use the same photo over here on the side to actually click on edit photo. And I get that Magic Studio, click grab text. Now I see that this one's missing a P on the Pepe. This one's also adding an extra C on success. So if I actually wanted to, I can then go in here when it's finished grabbing all of the words, and I can now actually come in here and you can see, let me just zoom on in. Whoops, zoomed in a little bit too far back. All right, cool. So now I can actually see if I was to come in here, I can then just change this to success. It's spelled the correct, well, if I got rid of one of the S's. So now I can change this to success, right? And I can actually edit all of this. Oh, it's blocking. I'm blocking this particular section. There you go. My bad. So you can see you can actually edit this particular text. I can put it right where I'd like to put it. If I want to change anything on here, I can. This one changed the font a little bit more, so it actually kind of adjusted it quite a bit more. So let's just go in here and just kind of switch this up. Maybe I want it to all be caps, so it says Pepe. And then I can actually go through and lower this as well and just put it kind of right where I want it to be on the cloud. So again, this is all editable using the Dalle-3 version in ChatGPT Vision, making it a nice 16:9 aspect ratio, editing the font on that particular photo as well. And then guys, the creation is really, the world is your oyster at this point in time for this kind of stuff. Like, this is the incredible opportunities that you see happening all the freaking time. What's up, Danny boy? How you doing, my friend? Gang, gang. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And y'all actually may have seen, I just recently, if you're following me on Twitter, if you're not at ATX Crypto _, you can follow me on Twitter and actually see all of this stuff as well. We do primarily focus on crypto, Hex, Pulse Chain, and PulseX, as you saw in the intro vid. But what I love about it is I can come in here and y'all can just kind of see a progression where I actually had a full-on conversation with ChatGPT exploring different stuff. And what's really, of course, awesome with it all is, let me just kind of go in and showcase some of the items in here. All right, and yeah, so I'm just going to go in and showcase some of the items. So this is where I actually had some fun playing around with the ChatGPT Vision, or ChatGPT 4 with the Vision, coming out with some crazy little pictures. I actually had this one, and so what I do is I get a combination of it all, y'all. And so what I can do, and what you can do as well, is you can use these different platforms such as Civit AI, for example, civitai.com. And we've shared this in the past before. It's not safe for work content for everything on here. But if you like some particular items on here, which is why you see all the blurs, if you like some of the images on here, what you can do is actually click on the photo. For example, if I like this one, I can see the prompt that they used right here, and I can actually copy that particular prompt. And if I wanted to, I can then go back into ChatGPT and say, create this image. Now, again, I do want to get rid of some of the extra stuff. The ARs 2 to 3, don't really care about that. I don't really need this whole imagine prompt because I'm not typing it in Midjourney. But what I will do is actually pull up this exact same thing in Midjourney. It's probably not going to make sense if I have Clinton or anything on there. So let me just take out some of this stuff. Commitment to pushing the boundaries. I wonder if that's just not even the right. That doesn't even sound the right one. President Clinton, the color photo. That's obviously not the right photo. So give me 1 second before I just randomly put that in and see if I can pull this one up on it. 1 second. All right, cool. So I'm going to go and do this prompt here. So just because this one actually had a prompt that actually had it down here, I can copy this and I can actually go back into my GPT version and exactly what we just did earlier, copy all this here and simply paste. Now, I love this because that gave me an idea, a vision, an inspiration, and you can go through here and see many different things. So I actually love this particular one, the whole constellation pattern of a transparent style. You can actually use this to create so many things similar to this as well. So what I did is I actually ended up making this into a few different versions on here as well. And so I actually did some where I actually had them create some Nike versions on here. So I actually had this whole constellation pattern made with Nikes. So I can use this exact same prompt and just say constellation neon Nike shoe made out of constellation howling. Nope. Sitting on desk. Let's just see what happens here. White forest backdrop. Sure. I like all that. Oops. It's already creating an image. I already forgot. Oops. Cool. So it's creating the image now. But you can see, look what we made just on some of these guys. Like I had this badass dragon type drawing. created out of it as well. And you can get some of the inspirations on different platforms. You can see this was one of the memes that we just recently did. We can change all of the text on here using Canva that we just recently showed a moment ago. You can actually come in here and see, look at the overall font. Now this is saying I didn't sign up for this. So if I wanted to, I can actually go in, use the Canva font. It'll actually keep everything dang near identical as it is right now. And from there, I can get rid of some of the imperfections. I can put token instead of tekken. I can do all of this stuff using the combination of it all. So these are just a couple of more that you ended up seeing that I had some fun making. And again, if you needed to, I love it because I can change a whole bunch of stuff on here. Now, one of the photos that you saw just recently was, hey, I wanted to make a little item of some images with the exploring AI creation. And so this is what you saw in the thumbnail, but look at some of the items that they actually ended up coming up with on here. Exploring AI, like look at some of these creations, guys, made within fractions of a second. So freaking cool, right? And these are the photos of those images if you needed some help. Like if you were looking for some adjustments on different stuff that you're needing, this stuff is getting so freaking good right now. It's so freaking good. So before we get too crazy on this, I want to share this last one, which is called moonvalley.ai. This is a whole system that allows you to create many different items within the whole platform as well. Now, the thing with this one, oh, that's funny. Sorry. I just looked at, this is what Dalle-3 created on the meme Pepe Frog. I finally loaded. So anyways, I just saw it and chuckled. So you would need to actually go to Discord. So if you actually go to discord.com, using Moon Valley, you can try their beta. Now look at some of the intro videos that you see on here. Two little pandas driving in an ATV. You get the full video. This is the actual text input and turned into a video. A dragon playing an epic guitar solo. That's pretty freaking cool on this one. And so if you actually go into Discord, well, I wasn't even sharing the Moon Valley thing. Well, you can actually see several other people who are creating prompts constantly and some of the prompts that they're using and actually checking as well. So if I like this style, if I want to switch something up on here, I can actually use it. If I like this whole video clip that was actually made using this section and the prompt, you can find out exactly what it is. And again, this is a free version for everyone to use at this point in time. So if you want to use moonvalley.ai, you can come up and make some really cool, fun 5-second clips, I would say, out of all of them. All you have to do is just come in here and you can see I have different sections. What I recommend that you do is be in either 3, 4, or 5, as most people are in 1, 2, and 6. So if you want to see your image generation, you can't do like a private message or Discord. So I can actually just come in here and say create. Now, it's probably not going to make it in time while we're actually streaming on this particular video. But let's just say a man holding a hexagon coin and cherish. I don't know. Style, you can switch it up down here. It'll give you a few different options. Fantasy, realism, 3D animation. We'll go realism, and I always just go long. It says average wait time 8 to 12 minutes. The long is actually the full 5-second display, so you can see most people are in fact doing long on this one. But if you're needing some ideas, some suggestions, some tips, anything like that, moonvalley.ai is just smashing this, if you ask me. Look at a male singer in a club of Bangalore. Like I wouldn't type that in on that one. And then you get this image, right? And again, look like this person actually ended up doing a few times, and that's one way to do it too. You just type in multiple prompts back to back, and it'll just load when it gets there, folks. Like you don't have to worry about waiting on it. It says we'll notify you when it's ready. If you ever need to, like say you leave it and come back, you can actually come in here and just search your particular name on here. So ATX Crypto is my name for this one, and it'll actually show you the videos that have been made using some of the creations on here. So this is one of the videos that I made. Simple little prompt: an astronaut standing in front of a dark background waving, saying hi, in the style of dark white and light purple, minimalistic cartooning, back button focus, animated GIF, loose gestures, and cute cartoonist design. So that is the prompt that was used to make this particular video. I had 2 little chibi astronauts driving on the moon around an ATV. Like I thought that would be cool. I saw it and I got the inspiration from the beginning on moonvalley.ai. AI. You can see they had the two pandas driving in an ATV. And so I thought that would be cool. You can come up and do all of this stuff as well, folks. What's up? What's up, Denise? How you doing, Big GZ? There's money to be made using this technology. Definitely going to have to rewatch a few times. This is great education. Well, I appreciate that, Danny boy. Much love. And guys, this is the support for all of y'all to be able to use as well. So you can see some of the creations that I ended up doing. This is a brown, black male astronaut. So I actually wanted to see that ended up happening. And you can see the generation creation that was made from here. This is incredible stuff, y'all. You got to understand, like, to me, this is freaking awesome stuff in here. You can really do a lot of different topics, a lot of different prompts, really cool ideas. That's a chick studying, I believe. If you want it, you can switch it as well. It says teenage girl. You can switch it to a businesswoman preparing for a conference, whatever the case may be. I don't really care what you end up putting, but you can do a whole bunch of stuff. That's weird. Two little girls, and hopefully they're sisters. Maybe if it's weird that I think it's weird. Anyways, you can have it create a whole bunch of stuff. Anyways, let's not get too crazy here because that's moonvalley.ai. So again, folks, to those of y'all who are wanting to create quick little 5-second clips for free, moonvalley.ai is currently doing this at this time on these videos. You can see this is a delivery boy, delivery boy in a blue uniform riding a bicycle. So let's imagine this. If you actually wanted to make like a whole lo-fi channel, I know y'all have seen the whole lo-fi girl and the music, and you may have seen it. And if you don't, it's a woman with her cat sitting in a room playing lo-fi music, studying typically, and it's good little background stuff. But you can make stuff like this into lo-fi. You can actually have it repeat and actually go back and, like, say for example, if I was to have this particular one downloaded, so let's just see real fast. Let's just see, save image as, and let's just save it right there. Cool. Yeah, so it actually saves it as a GIF as well, which is kind of cool. So, but again, you can see all of these different items in here. So we can, once you make that, you can come back into Canva, for example, and make a full-on display of everything happening. So if I was to come in here and briefly use this on Canva, I can come in, I can download or upload the input that we just did a moment ago for that particular video. And I can actually go and edit this to do a whole bunch of stuff, y'all. Like, you have to understand, when it comes to this item, this is Canva, but you can do so many other free things as well. You can go into DaVinci Resolve, which is like Adobe Premiere. You can go into DaVinci Resolve and use it to actually make this into a full-on clip, right? Like, you can reverse it as well. So you can open this up and then have it go backwards, meaning it would just look like the person's going forward. And instead of doing that skip back that you see it doing right now, you would have it just do the reverse of that exact image. And instead of it looping every single time, it would actually end up going backwards as well. So find ways to make this work that works for you, folks. Like, there are so many benefits and perks to all of this happening right now that I want to share this information, but it's just so many things that are good stuff that are out here as well. That was just a one little topic of an item on Canva using their new AI system. So you can do full text to image, you can magic edit stuff as well. And so if I was to come in here on this photo, y'all saw it a second ago, I can actually magic edit certain items in here. I can erase certain items. So if I don't like certain things in here, like maybe I don't want this cloud to be, maybe I don't want the cloud and the balloons over here. So I can just erase this from the image. And just by simply clicking on the edit photo button up top, one thing you will notice is sometimes you have to do it a couple times. I'll say that. If it doesn't edit it right away for the eraser, sometimes just doing it a few times and just having it process itself over and over and over again is actually the easiest, best way you can do it too. And again, just do that as many times as needed until the images is how you want it to be. Once it's all done, you just simply click on reset. Now, they do have a reset tools. The downside to it is if you ever click this, it resets all of it, all the edits that you've made to it, anything that you have changed with it, it resets it all. So keep that in mind. If it's something that you do, you can always there again, you know, undo it by clicking Control Z, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, even then that didn't even reset it to what it was before. So crazy stuff. If you actually do end up, you can see it tried keeping some of the stuff on here with the success, with the Pepe, and now it just kind of has both on there. So keep that in mind. Don't ever click reset tools unless you know for sure that you do want it to be reset. Otherwise, you're going to end up in a position that you have to redo it all again. And there's not typically like an undo button that just allows you just to go back and undo. Bam, there you go. I went back enough and it finally went back to normal. So hopefully that makes sense to several people. And I wanted to share that because I am having an absolute blast with the combination of ChatGPT 4 Vision, with the combination of Dalle-3, with the combination of Canva, and just overall exploring the whole world that is AI, folks. We are in such a fortunate, lucky position that if what we are seeing now is at this level in public, what are they working on in private? And how crazy is it about to get? We've seen restrictions placed on Dalle-3, OpenAI, and all that good stuff. So sometimes you'll have to rephrase some items. You can't use a particular character in some cases, but you can find ways around it. So instead of saying you want to see a picture of Chris Evans, maybe you type in you want to see Captain America from Marvel, or you want to see who plays Captain America in Marvel series, Avengers, right? If you type it in, you'll get a picture of Chris Evans. So it's just funny how that ends up playing out. You just sometimes have to reword some items to get through and get past and get and create what you actually want to create. I think overall we have an absolute game changer of a time and everything happening. Moon Valley is a free system at this point in time. So I highly would suggest, again, it is only through Discord. So you must have Discord in order to use Moon Valley. Keep that in mind. But I think it's worth it to go ahead and just make a Discord if you don't already, because you can make all of these fun stuff here, y'all. Like if you ever just want any of these images, you can come in here and just see any of this stuff. Crazy freaking cool stuff happening all around with AI every single day. Loving it, y'all. Loving it. You can do this kind of stuff with like Stable Diffusion right now and setting everything up in that regard and running the system on your own computer. But without doing all that and worrying about all that, you can now just type in a prompt and come back a few minutes later typically, and you'll be pretty surprised with what it actually creates. These are just incredible stuff, guys. If you ask me, like I look at this stuff and I am shocked whenever I see this kind of stuff. Yeah, so let me see real fast. Give me 1 second. Atlantean says, yes, it's really cool. Definitely check this out later. For sure. Yeah, I mean, if you're into like this whole AI art image generation setup, the premise behind it, and we've gone through several different areas where you can go through and make a whole bunch of stuff happen with this. Now, if you're looking to, I think, you know, they'd ask, is it possible to use your own face instead of theirs in the video? And at this point in time, it's not. Great question though, for sure. And could it be in the future? For sure. There are so many things out there that are so freaking wild, crazy, and cool that I think we are reaching a point in time where we have moonvalley.ai for one of them, for example. You have Pika.labs. That's another one that I've gone over and discussed as well. Now, they only can come up with a 3-second clip max on the Pika.labs. But the fact that this is all free and able to be used for people is, my gosh, what a crazy freaking time, y'all. But yeah, again, play around with some of this stuff. Get familiar with some of this stuff. Start learning it, because it is here to be able to incorporate. You can do poster designs for events. You can do picture for memes. You can do your own style of photos. Now, if you do want to replace your face, and that is something that you are wanting to do, you can use something called Insight Face Swap on Discord. It's another Discord app, and it's what I've used in the past to create some of these thumbnails right here. And you can see I have Westcott's image, which is a co-host on the Pulse Nation channel with me, where we discuss crypto on Wednesdays and Thursdays. But again, you can see I actually had a photo on here, and you can use your Insight Face Swap. So it's right here, Insight Face Swap. And you can see the original image that it came up with, and then the photo that it was adjusted to make Wes's face on that one. you can use other topics as well. And you can kind of see here, if I was to just kind of scroll through some of these items and the pictures, and you can see what it was before and what it could be after. So this is another one that I took where it had a random person, and then I put my face on it as well. So it keeps the whole same design. It keeps everything the same. You just want to make sure that you have something close enough that resembles a face, that it can recognize as a face, and then you can actually make a whole bunch of really cool photos with this stuff as well. And these are just a bit of what I've actually been able to create. This is one of them that actually was able to create as well using AI, folks. And I just swapped the faces on these two photos for Wes and myself, and it keeps that same style generation for what we actually have going on. Really freaking cool stuff that you actually get to see. Again, Insight Face Swap is the name of this particular app. And yeah, you can use it for many different items. Hopefully, that's just for images, by the way, not for video. But hey, we all got to start somewhere. And I hope that helps. Y'all have a wonderful weekend on a Sunday afternoon. It is going to be a wonderful time going forward. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.